What's up? I'm Zach Norman and this is my Farmhouse Trestle Table. I had a friend that had seen some dining chairs that I'd reupholstered and asked me if I'd be able to build a dining table. She was having trouble finding something that would fit her dining room perfectly, so I sketched up something and went to work. I started by ripping down some red oak that I bought from a local lumber yard. I used 2x8s for the top and 1x8s that I laminated together for the remaining parts. First, I ripped everything to the right width with my table saw. Then I used my miter saw to start chopping down the pieces for my legs. I left the pieces for the legs a little long so that I could cut off the ends after glue up to get a good square edge. I was working on some chairs and some other designs during the process, so I was able to stay busy while one piece was clamping up. Also, while the legs were drying, I focused back on the tabletop. I got the 2x8s chopped down to the size that I needed them and lined them up so I could see where there were any gaps. Then I started the long process of hand planing the edges to get a good tight square joint. Side note, if you're working on a table that has wheels, be sure to lock them in place. Also, trying to hand plane on a table that has wheels is very hard. Once satisfied, I marked the layout for my biscuits, then used my Ryobi biscuit joiner to cut the slots for the biscuits. This tool was super easy to use and made sure that the boards joined, laid flat and straight with each other. While the top was drying, I focused back on my table legs. Again, I had to hand plane each part to get them as square as possible. Then I used the miter saw to cut off the ends and cut the angles that gave the legs a little bit of character. Also cut all the X braces on the miter saw by alternating the direction of my 45-degree angle cuts. It's also made for a pretty cool GoPro video. When my shop manager came out, he got on to me about the mess and the importance of keeping a clean workspace. Of course, he had to show me how it needed to be done properly. It's so hard to get good help. Back on the legs, I used the drill press with a Forstner bit to remove the majority of the materials for the mortises. Then it was on to chiseling out the rest by hand. Now I didn't video it, but I used the table saw to cut out all my tenons. Once the posts were joined, I used each X brace to mark where those mortises would need to go. I mocked up one side to make sure everything worked out before starting the other side. Then I just repeated the whole process. You see all these shavings freaking everywhere. That means I finally finished planing the last pieces. So now I can finally get down to joining everything, and we can knock out getting this table done. I didn't want there to be any screws in this table, so I went with 1/4 inch oak dowels to make sure my joints stayed in place. For me, the most dreaded part of any project is sanding. It takes forever, it's kind of monotonous, so I always just crank up some tunes and go to town. To connect the leg posts, I use a center stretcher, then 2 top skirt pieces running along each side that I could use to attach Z-clips to for the top. The skirt pieces I attached with a massive dovetail joint. After I'd hand planed the top, I used a couple passes with my router to get the ends flush. Then I sanded multiple times, working up through the grits, getting finer and finer each time. I used a spray bottle with water to raise the grain, and then sanded again to get a buttery smooth finish. I then stained it using Minwax's weathered oak stain and a stain pad. And I finished it with General Finishes Armor Seal. I think this table turned out beautiful. Along with it, I built a farmhouse bench to go along one side and 4 custom upholstered dining chairs to go around it. The set looks so awesome in their newly renovated kitchen. I'm so excited that they're going to be able to enjoy a bunch of family meals together on something that I built. I hope you guys enjoyed my video. If you like my trestle table, be sure and give it a thumbs up. It's been a couple months since I built the table, and I've got a few cool projects that I recorded and hope to be rolling out pretty soon, so be sure and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned. Really? Damn it.